Hello dudes and dudesses. What am I doing? I'm farming lava. Why am I farming lava? Because it's a very good fuel source, probably even the best fuel source in the game, and in 1.17 it's a renewable source that you can make a farm for. Hello dudes and dudesses, welcome to a video about how to make a simple lava farm. Yes, a lava farm, because that is possible in 1.17. If you look at the small setup behind me, you can see the burn value of every item, every fuel item in the game. And if we browse quickly through them, you can see that this is how many items one of each fuel item will actually burn. And if we go all the way over here, you can see a lava bucket will actually burn 100 items, coal block 80 items, and of course there's pros and cons to each one. This is actually a very good alternative to some of the rest, now that you can get it by as a renewable source by farming. This is the kind of setup that I would recommend, and it's very easy to use, and it's quite easy to build, but it is somewhat expensive to build. But if we look at this first, this is where the player is standing. You saw me in the beginning. I back up against this chest here, and in this chest I have totally filled with buckets. So that that's kind of expensive. The buckets go down to a dropper down here, and I have, if you look at my inventory, you can see that my inventory is totally filled, and I only have one stack of 16 buckets, which means that every time I fill one of these guys, in survival that is, I drop a bucket, it's sucked up by these hoppers and go down to this row of chests right here. So that's how you get your buckets. And I have comparators in here, so every time anything goes down in one of these hoppers, it pushes out a new bucket to the player. Now let's just go through it. It is 12 by 12 by 12 because that is the push limit of the pistons. And it's basically a feed tape. This is my own design. This is how I like it, because with this design you can easily turn the system on and off, and it's reliable, it doesn't break. I use it for other piston tape things. You might also use this, it's cheaper, just having a observer looking at the cauldrons and then pushing it. The problem with that is you can't really, the only way you can stop it is like this, and the piston is extended and there's no easy way to get it going again, and you will have to replace one of these cauldrons, and also it needs to be slower. So this is pretty fast, and as I said, you turn it on and off, which I always like when I build a farm. This is the simple outline of the farm. It's 12 by 12 by 12 by 12, and in my design, there are others out there, you need to have a space of 3 underneath to make sure there's room for these guys, the feed tape machines. You start by punching out these corners, because that's where the observer is going to be. That's going to drive the piston feed tape. Now I'm not going to build all 4 corners with you, because you know how it is. You place an observer right there looking up like that. Underneath that observer you take a sticky piston right there, and you take a redstone block right there, and you put 2 pieces of redstone beside the redstone block. Then you take 2 observers looking at the redstone pointing up. Then you take another sticky piston right there, and you take a normal piston and you place it right there looking into that one. Then you take a piece of redstone, place it right there, and an observer right there, and a block right there. And you do this on all 4 corners. I mean, let's take one more, because over here it will be pointing out this way. Of course you have to decide which way it goes, but you take an observer like that, and then you take a sticky piston, and then the redstone block right there. And in this case the redstone will be going out to like this, and Then we just need to bring in these like this, and the sticky piston again, and the normal piston pointing into pushing the observer, even though it can't right there. Then the redstone and that one right there and right there. So you see they will be going around in different directions. Let me just build this up so we can get on with the farm. This is what it should look like. This setup is meant to go clockwise, and the way the setup juts out is always the way it will be pushing. When it juts out that way, it will be pushing that way. When it juts out that way, it will be pushing that way, and so on. So there is a logic to it that's easy to remember. Now we need to get all the lava in place. What you do for the lava is you need to have a block up there, so there's room like this, 2 space room underneath there, and then you just make a row all the way around again. It doesn't matter what this block is, as long as it's too high. And then on all these blocks you want to place pointed dripstone like this. As soon as you've done that, you need to make a small channel for the lava, and you do that by placing a block there and putting blocks on both sides like this. We can go like this as well. And of course, needless to say, this does not have to be glass. It could be any block. Then you should have something looking like this, and it's time to put in the lava. For this to work, every one of these needs to be a lava source. So you will probably be taking some trips to the Nether, and yeah, the investment is actually quite big in this, and it's very important that it is lava sources. As I said, no flowing lava. You can see flowing lava there, and I missed some, because if it's flowing lava, it won't produce lava in the cauldrons. Now it should look like this, all steady flowing. Now it's time to put in the cauldrons. You put them in like this, and of course cauldrons are pretty expensive too, iron, but if you're a regular watching this channel, you probably have a good iron farm, so that won't really be a problem. And now it is done, and you can see there's nothing on the corners like this. All the corners are free, and now it's time to put in the on-off mechanism, and we take a block and place it on this one. You decide, it could be anyone. You place it on this one right there, and then you need a lever. Place it right here, and when you turn it on, you need to place in one more cauldron, and now the system is running. As you can see, when you turn it off, there will always be a cauldron right here. And then when you turn it on, it will keep on going. Let's just turn it on now for the noise. Then you choose a side, and that's where you want to have your AFK spot. I'm gonna choose this side right here. It doesn't have to be in the middle, it's just, you know, for the symmetry of it, like this. But what you need is one block space, and then you go out here, and actually these right here, these two for instance, I don't think you can make it quite symmetrical, is where you place, or maybe we should do it from this side, like this. You place your chests one block in like this, and of course you can add more chests if you need to. Then you place your hopper pointing down to the chest like this, and you remove that block right there. Then what I like to do, because you need to actually be able to stand there in real life, is something like this, and then you place your dropper one further back like this. I have mouse problems. And you place 2 blocks right there. Now you need to take your comparator, taking an input from these 2 hoppers right there, and then you need to put a solid block there, so this comparator as well will fire this one. Then you need to take a dropper right there, and you put a chest right here. That chest you fill up with a lot of buckets, as many buckets as you can afford. I mean, you will probably not run out for a long time, but now this is going through the hopper down here to this dropper down here, being ready to give you new buckets as you use them. Now, as a player, you will be standing here, but you could go all the way back out here and fall down. So what I like to do is I place carpets here like this. It's absolutely not necessary since you're standing here anyway, but I like it like this. And now the system is ready to go. And I've tested it already. With this setup right here, you will get just slightly more than 2 double chests per hour of AFKing. So you will probably need to AFK, like, I can't really figure this out, half an hour just to get this investment back. If you want to AFK for a longer period of time, a nice trick is to hold down the right mouse button and then just press F3 and C, and you get this screen, and let go of all buttons. And right now, when it passes by, it goes on like this automatically for as long as you have buckets in the chest. Alright, dudes and dudesses, thank you for watching. If you like it, do leave a like, you know it helps the channel. If you're brand new, subscribe, hit that belly button and get notified whenever I put out a video. And oh yeah, just to make it absolutely clear, this setup is not an original idea for me, so don't go claiming that somewhere on Reddit or out there. This is just my version with my preferred piston feed tape setup, but there's a lot of other good farms out there that do exactly the same. So this is just me responding to you asking me to make my version of it. See you in the next one. Bye.